So I'm just going to check out this live chat. I'm just saying this is the first time I'm ever actually using the live stream, so I have no idea how it's going to go. And I just wanted to really test it out, to be honest. It's nothing really fancy about it at the end of the day. But yeah, I thought if people come online, have a bit of a yarn, can talk to them about my life in Chiang Mai, or you can ask any questions, really. I'm not really that phased on what sort of questions are asked, but I have come on a minute early just because I wanted to test the sound. So if anyone tells me there's any issues with sound, please let me know and I'll see what I can do to adjust it. But I don't know. Let's sort of just wait and see what people are after and whether anyone actually does come on. To build positive live chat for your viewers, choose who can participate, set a delay message. I'm really got to learn this technology. I have no idea what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm just going to wait and see where this actually goes. So, what is it that I want to do? Monitoring helps everyone feel safe. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. Okay, I'm going to choose slow mode, send a message every 20 seconds. Okay, so that's a sort of delay switch I've actually got on it. But I don't know. I'll just sit around and wait. I might do some things, maybe check out some stuff on, yeah, maybe just surf the net a little bit while I'm sort of waiting to see if anyone comes on. If no one comes on, so be it. It's been a test just to see what's going on out there. But I do enjoy my life in Chiang Mai. I did live in Bangkok for a year, and when I first got here, Bangkok's nice. Like if you think about Bangkok, if you want to get to know Thailand in the beginning, maybe staying in Bangkok for a year is not a bad idea, because Bangkok's got a lot to see, a lot to do, very busy, lots of restaurants, lots of nightclubs, um, lots of history as well. It is a nice town overall, and it's easy to get around. You've got the MRTs, the BTS. It's such an easy town. I think when I started living in Bangkok, it was just, I don't know, I settled in really quickly. It wasn't hard at all, especially for someone that doesn't speak any Thai. I thought I was doing okay. And yeah, I'm just sort of playing with this webcam a little bit. So excuse me if I don't get it right. Ah. Yeah, because I'm just using the computer webcam. That's not computer webcam, but let's have a look. Yeah. But I thought that Bangkok life, it was a busy, hectic life. Like, especially if you're driving around Bangkok, whether it's by motorbike or car, it's freaking hectic as hell. Though I was living near Icon CM. So Icon CM's a big shopping mall in Bangkok. Very nice area to actually live. It was very peaceful and stuff like that. I had 5 minutes walk from one of the BTSs, which was really easy if I wanted to get into town. Or I wanted to just visit shops or something along those lines. If I wanted to go into the tourist areas, the party districts, it was an easy BTS ride. And it was Anne that helped me find the original place that I rented. And it wasn't too bad for about 12,000. I think it was about 12,000 baht a month or close to that I was paying for a 1-bedroom unit in Bangkok there near Icon CM. And I had access to pool and gym and, yeah, aircon. It was only a small room. The thing I hated about renting a furnished place is that, yeah, it was furnished. It was great. It had a bed, but it had a freaking rock bed. And I don't know whether anyone else has experienced that, but rock beds, they're freaking, I don't know, it seems to be a common thing here. People like sleeping on a really hard, solid bed. It's like there's no mattress on it at all. I had to buy toppers to start off with to actually try and be slightly comfortable on that bed. And the place I'm renting in Chiang Mai at the moment, it's got a little bit more of a comfortable mattress, but still they're pretty hard and solid, those ones. So, yeah, I prefer medium sort of stuff. But yeah, the cost of living wasn't that high where I was living in Bangkok. If you wanted Western products, of course, you're going to pay through the roof. You're going to pay probably a lot higher than you would for local Thai stuff. But if you're living in Thailand, learn to live off the local food. it's nice. It's delicious. Like local Thai food. I like my Western food too, but local Thai food was delicious. And I used to have my favorite little cafes, my favorite little restaurants nearby where I'd get my noodles, where I'd get my kopau, where I'd get my red curry. I had all my little Thai choice places as well as my iced coffees. And yes, iced coffees are addictive because they put something sweet in them. I don't know. But yeah, they were. I did love my iced coffees, and I'm still a little bit addicted to them, but I'm trying to cut down on them because of the amount of sugar in them, in the actual things. But getting back to life in Bangkok and my first year there, Bangkok itself, it was a good lifestyle for 1 year. I really used it as a base station to do some initial travel, like going down to Phuket, going up to Ubon Ratchathani and Royat, where Anne's from. I did a lot of base travel. I did come up to Chiang Mai for holidays before I moved here, which was good. And I saw all the temples in the area, went to a lot of the tourist attractions in Bangkok. I saw basically everything a tourist would see in Bangkok. And I got to walk the side streets, get to see what normal Thai life was like. It was a good test to decide whether Thailand was really where I wanted to make my home. And I had no idea. I came here on a holiday and pretty much decided to stay, especially after me and Anne hit it off and started doing really well together. And but the thing I loved about it was there was just so much to do in Bangkok. You can keep yourself busy, and there is the popular tourist areas in Sukhumvit, and there's a lot of restaurants there. There's a lot of clubs, rooftop bars, all those sorts of things. Shopping galore, markets everywhere. Yeah, and people say they live off their 7-Elevens, but I don't know whether 7-Elevens, yeah, I admit, I shop in them a lot. Sometimes I get those little toasted sandwiches. Sometimes I get just a microwave dinner. Um, I don't, I do get bits and pieces from it. They're good convenience stores in 7-Elevens, and I had one within 5 minutes walk of where I rented in Bangkok. So that's one tip I would make about Bangkok, that if you're going to rent, shop around and get a feel for the average rental prices of condos. And if you're after a gym and a pool in the place you're renting, then shop around again. And if you're going to stay in the middle of Sukhumvit, of course you're going to pay a bit more. But if that's the lifestyle you want, then go for it. But do have your own budget. Do your research even before you move here or decide to stay here on what is considered reasonable when it comes to paying rent. Do your analysis on the cost of electricity and water and all those sorts of things, so you know your budget and get a feel for the average food costs. And there's all these people online saying, oh yeah, this is what I live off per month, and this is the cost of my electricity, the cost of my water. Really, I'm not going to do that, mainly because everyone has a different lifestyle. And when I have put things up and saying, oh, it's cost me this, they're going, oh, you can get it so much cheaper than that if you shop around. And of course you can bloody get it cheaper. You can get things cheaper. You can get things more expensive. In Thailand itself, the lifestyle is so varied here. It really is. And you can live like on an extreme budget and just live off noodles every morning if that's what you want, or 7-Eleven food if that's what you want. But you can also live high end and have like go Michelin restaurant to Michelin restaurant if that's the lifestyle you really want. So yeah, when it comes to supporting myself, I support myself through some overseas sort of online sort of business stuff. So that's where I get my cash flow from. And I'm not going to go too much into that online business. But what I say to people is that if you're looking at living in a different country, set up some sort of company where you can get some sort of online cash flow, whether it's you're managing stocks, whether you got real estate investments, whether you got some sort of online business where you can log into and work online, like online shops. I don't know about that affiliate marketing stuff and drop shipping and all that. I've looked into it, but I didn't really get anything out of it. So I just gave up on that sort of stuff. I do YouTube not because I'm trying to earn money, but just because I do it for fun, really. It's my stress management sort of thing that I like to do. So, yeah. Yeah, of course. The online sort of business is the only way, unless you want to do English teaching here. And I did look into things like English teaching. And English teaching, yes, you can do it. You've got to have a degree. You've got to have a university degree. You could work for one of the language colleges where I don't think you need a university degree as much, but it can be a degree literally in anything. And you can then get your teaching English as a foreign language certificate, which you can do a crash course in it in 4 weeks, I believe, in Bangkok. So I did do my research. But if you look at a lot of English teachers, they're probably earning maybe 35,000 baht, 40,000 baht a month, which you can live off if you're living that. If you look at the average person, what they're living off. Like I look at my sister-in-law, she's getting about 12,000 baht a month working at Home Pro. And then my brother-in-law, he's working at Macro, and I think he's sitting on about 15,000 baht a month. So local Thai people can live off that stuff. And when even Anne, my partner, was looking at jobs, she was looking at maybe working in hotels, and they were willing to pay her about 18,000 baht a month, just working at the front counter sort of thing, even though she has a degree in hospitality management. But online businesses are the way to go, really, because if you want to live a more of a middle class lifestyle, then or upper middle class lifestyle, then earning the local Thai dollar, it's not going to get you there. And I know some YouTubers that have got real estate investments overseas and they just live off the rental income. And I know other people that have actually got businesses here. And I've looked into even starting a business here. Like I'm a mental health clinician by trade, so I'm a social worker. And so I thought that I did research because as social workers, psychologists, counselors, things like that, you can set up businesses here. You just want to maintain your overseas registration. There is private pracs working here, but they're working for bigger companies. And when you're working for those bigger companies, for every one Thai employee, no, for every Western employee they have to have 4 Thais, unless your business is with your wife, your Thai wife, for example. So she's got the 51% of the business, you've got the 49 sort of thing. Then in that particular case, it's 1 Westerner, 2 Thai employees. So it's halved, and even the cost, I think, goes from having 2 million baht in the bank to 1 million baht in the bank or something to start up the business. And don't quote me on it, it's just some stuff, some consultancy I did with Settlement Abroad here in Chiang Mai, and on that sort of thing. So you can set up businesses. Some people buy into businesses here, and it probably is worthwhile if you found a good business to buy into. But if you're going to buy a bar or something like that, know the heck what you're doing. Like for someone like me, I'm good at project management. I'm good at policy. I'm good at training, corporate training. I can do online teaching if I wanted to because I've done college teaching before. And so that's easy for me to do. I could get jobs tomorrow doing online teaching anywhere in the world, well, all over Australia, really. But I could do that because I've done TAFE teaching and college teaching. I used to teach things like counselling diploma, disability diploma, community services. And so I've done a lot of things in my time over the years, working for government, non-for-profits, private sector. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience in a lot of areas. But really what I learned from all those things, I really just wanted to embrace life, learn to live it, slow down a little bit. And that's what I do. I just enjoy life these days. I'm just relaxed. And yeah, I'm even about to get married on the 30th. So me and Anne are just going to basically elope and get married. And so that's very exciting too. Yeah, no, it's easy. But before you come, The only advice I would give you would be get a Word document, get a whole folder, maybe create a project plan for moving here, like what you're going to set up online, how you're going to earn your income, how you're going to support yourself. If you're going to take a job here, what sort of job, what area do you want to live, and don't move straight to an area. Maybe just come on a holiday and test out different areas. But yeah, uh, plan it. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Do a bit of project managing. But yeah, good food recipes. Might have to look that up later. I'm a bit of a foodie. But yeah, take care. Look after yourself. On that one. But yeah, so don't be afraid to take chances, even when it comes to jumping to a different country. Live the life you want. That's what I'm saying. A lot of us are too scared to take chances on life. A lot of us are too scared to just be happy. We're happy being caught up in the hamster wheel, and we just don't want to get out of that hamster wheel because change is scary, change is frightening. So why leave that comfortable hamster wheel? Like I was in government jobs, government, completely comfortable. And even in my 40s, when I was looking at leaving government and doing my own things, my parents were just freaking out, saying, why are you going to do that? Government's so secure, so stable. And yes, it is. But I don't know. I just didn't want to do the hamster wheel anymore, to be honest. And I just wanted to start living life my way because I'd always been too scared to take chances on life, too scared to just be happy. And I got to a point where I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take a chance there. I'm just going to start doing what I really want. I didn't know whether I was going to travel a few times. I didn't know whether I was going to settle down, but I just decided that a life lived in fear is a life half lived. It was a saying that I'd heard over and over throughout my life. And I just didn't want to do that anymore. I didn't want to live in fear. And because I had escaped an abusive relationship back in 2019, it had done a lot of damage to my psychological well-being. But once I escaped that relationship, I just went, you know what? I'm not going to live in that fear anymore. I'm going to get out there and really embrace life to the fullest. I'm going to start living it without fear. Of course, I was going to be cautious. I was going to do risk management and how I was going to live. The old project manager in me likes to do that sort of thing. But I just really wanted to start being happy. And even when I got back onto the dating scene, it was the same thing. I really sat down and I'd done that deep reflection on myself first, what I wanted from life, what were my needs, my essentials and my desirables. I just done so much deep thinking about what I needed to be happy outside of a relationship. I've done a lot of that self-growth stuff, really working on me. And yes, I have regrets. But if I was to live in those regrets, I would never be happy. And there's still things that I do regret inside me, but I can't control them. I've got to focus on what I can control and influence. And I always say to people, focus on your circle of control and influence. Because at the end of the day, when you're stressed, when you're anxious, just ask yourself, can I control or influence this stressor in any way, shape, or form? If I can't, then I've got to let it go. If I can manage this stress, then what I'm going to ask myself is, well, what can I do to eliminate it? What can I do to reduce its impact? What can I do to make a positive change over time? Or I'm going to do a SMART goal. So I'm literally going to focus on problem solving those stresses rather than letting those stresses control me. And I made a big choice that I just wanted to start living mindfully. And what I mean by that is when I'm embracing the things that I actually enjoy, I just want to be completely mentally present in that activity. So if I'm going for a hike, for example, a bushwalk, I use the example like in the Blue Mountains where I used to live west of Sydney. There I would go bushwalking. And I'd been doing this since I was a kid and I didn't know I was practicing mindfulness. But when I would walk, I'd be so, because I used to do a lot of photography when I was younger, and maybe that's what's got me back into this. But when I was doing photography, I used to slow right down. So I was taking notice of everything I could see, hear, smell, touch, because I was scanning my environment, trying to see if I could hear any birds, lizards, snakes, whatever it was, because I was trying to look for wildlife to take photos of. And so I could feel my feet touching the ground. I could feel the wind against me, the sun against me. I was hearing every little rustle in the trees. I was just taking notice of everything around me. And in those moments when I was bush, sometimes I'd just sit somewhere at a lookout, and I would just close my eyes for a second sometimes and just notice everything that I could hear and smell around me. Other times I'd just sit there, embrace all my senses, and literally just scan my environment and relax in that moment, sitting at that lookout and the blue mountains and just chilling, really being. And I guess one of the things that attracts me to Thailand is, I guess it's Buddhism in that way, because that is about being mentally present. It is about embracing life. It's about letting go of what you can't control. It's about not letting the past be an anchor for you. And so don't be afraid to live your life. That's what I'm sort of getting at there too. And that was a hard lesson for me, because I'd always been afraid to really embrace and live my life, and until I jumped on a plane and then went, no, I've got to do it. Because I was living in fear because of an ex-partner who I was always at risk of her doing something to me. I was scared of her because she was a domestic violence perpetrator, and I was living in that constant state of fear of what she's going to do to me next. And she's been constantly stalking me ever since 2019. And she keeps changing her aliases online and keeps spamming my channels, my psychology YouTube as well as this one. So, and I've just blocked one of her things yesterday, actually. Again, a new alias that's just popped up. But I can't control that. She's going to continue to do that for the rest of my life, I know. That's just who she is. And but what I can control is about being present and being happy in the here and now. And I guess that's why I made that final decision. You know what? I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get married. I'm going to be happy. And so we're going to move into our new house soon, and it's going to be me, Anne, and my stepson. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. We have got other projects we're working on in Ubon Ratchathani, but that's more of a longer term project. So I've got a rice farm out there, as well as a second farm we're actually working on out there. So, and who knows what we're going to do with that rice farm. We might modify it as well. So there's other projects that we've got going on down the track, and maybe we're looking at building one of those little, it's still an idea in progress, but maybe we're looking at building some sort of little resort sort of thing with, like 4 little cabins or something like that on the farm, so it looks directly into the rice field out in Ubon Ratchathani. But that's a future project idea that we've got. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but we have got a couple of big dams on there, and maybe we'll throw some fish in there, but they're future projects. But yeah, but overall, whatever you are thinking and doing in life, whether it's just to travel, whether it's just to live in a different country, create a whole folder on your computer and think it out. That's what I'm telling you to do, is map it. There's a lot of lessons that I should have learned before I came here, and learning from them, I would have literally done that. I would have got that Word document out, a folder on my computer. I would have done all my analysis before I even came, do some brainstorming. A lot of people just randomly turn up here and hope that they're going to survive, and then wonder why they didn't. So if you want to live as an expat, or you just want to jump country to country to country, do things like check out different visa types, check out the types of online work you can do. I know even in Australia, remote jobs, they're really increasing. Like, I know I've got a couple of people that are looking to do more remote work. And so there is a lot of, even in Australia, like there's customer service jobs, clerical jobs, all sorts of jobs where they're just working purely from home. And if you've got one of those jobs where you're working purely from home, you could take a week in Bali. You could take a week in, I don't know, Phuket. You could jump around the world and just log into your computer from whatever country you're working from. And the world has changed since COVID. So you can do that sort of thing. So don't stop yourself. But outside of that, life, it's relaxing. Life is what you make it of it, really. If you think you're going to come to a country to fix all your problems, you're not. That's the reality. Those problems are going to come with you, whether you've got addiction, whether you've got, I don't know, some sort of mental health issue, whether you're trying to recover from trauma, whatever it is, financial problems, all those things are going to chase you. And they're going to continually gnaw at you, no matter what country you're in. So just remember that too. Going to another country is not going to solve your problems. It really isn't. And but I do encourage you guys that if you're coming here, think about the lifestyle you want. Or if you're going to any Asian country or European country, it doesn't really matter. But just think about the type of lifestyle you want. And then you pick the location to suit that. Some people love living by the beach. Some people love living up in the mountains like Chiang Mai. Other people like living rural like Isan and Ubon Ratchathani because they like the quiet life sitting on a farm. Other people like the party life like Pattaya or Phuket. And other people just like the inner city life like Bangkok. So, yes, give all those places a go because even if you just say, I'm going to use an example here, just say that you decided that, okay, I want to move to Thailand. I've done all my plans. I've set up. I've got my online business going. I can work from anywhere. It doesn't matter where I live. You could think that, okay, well, how am I going to choose where I want to live? Think Airbnb, for example, because that way you're not committing to a rental contract. Or you can just get a cheap hotel somewhere. And you might spend a month or two in each location, like moving around, or a week in each location just to like suss things out. Or you may do a few trips back and forward from your home country to here. And in that meantime, you're just testing. Do I like Chiang Mai? Do I like Phuket? Do I like Pattaya? What sort of life do I like? Koh Samui? What sort of lifestyle do I actually like? And so test them out. I've been out to Ubon Ratchathani and yeah, I could live there because I like the rural lifestyle. And I probably will go backwards and forwards there, especially when we build our second home out there. And that's the plan, that when we want some quiet time, we're just going to go out to Ubon and relax and chill by the farm. And if we put some fish in the pool, maybe we're going to, we put some fish not in the pool, I mean in the dam out in Ubon Ratchathani, then yeah, maybe I'll put some fish in there. And if we build our second home out there, then yeah, maybe just throw the rod in and have some fun. I used to like fishing. It's but I'm still figuring out, like in Chiang Mai here, I do want to get back into fishing, but I'm sort of thinking that, well, I got to buy some fishing gear here, and I really don't know where to fish or what I would catch, what sort of bait I've got to use, what sort of gear I've got to get together. So I'm going to have to do some research on actually fishing in Chiang Mai. But yeah, I do love the lifestyle here. They're just coming back to that. But Chiang Mai itself, it's a really nice place to live. Like if you need to use the internet on a regular basis, highly stable internet, super fast. I can't tell you the exact numbers on it, but it is super fast and it is really good. And so the internet's really good in places like Chiang Mai. Little digital nomad havens all over the place, like cafes that you can stop and work in and things like that. They're scattered all over Chiang Mai, and Chiang Mai is well known for that. Having digital nomads coming in for a month, working online, disappearing again to a different country. It's a digital nomad haven, I think, Chiang Mai. Other good things about Chiang Mai, you've got all sorts of rental that you can have if you wanted to rent here. Like you got your condos if you want to live in the inner city. You've got your houses you can rent in the gated communities if you want to go a bit more upmarket. Like, for example, what do we pay? 16,500 baht for a 3-bedroom house in a gated community with gym and pool. So that's not too bad. Though, mind you, in the 40-degree weather recently, with that cost us about 7,000 baht with electricity. So when we're going through that 40-degree pathway, and so that was quite expensive there. We don't usually pay that much. Usually we pay about 5,000 a month with electricity on average, just because there's a few people here. There's me, my future wife to be, and my stepson, and we had her sister and mum living here for a little while, but they've moved out and started setting themselves up elsewhere, but they're here half the time anywhere at the moment. And but other things about Chiang Mai is you do have a variety of just really cool street food here. Like the amount of little, you can go out to Chinatown, that's good for cheap shopping, but the street food's so-so. In Chiang Mai Old Town, there's a couple of really good places where you can just pull up and have some street food, as well as a lot of good restaurants. In the Old Town section, you have a lot of good Western food, a lot of good Thai food. So you're spoiled for choice, really, when it comes to food in Chiang Mai Old Town. And Expat is one of my sort of little favorite places, just because I like the food there. They have this nice little, spicy chicken with rice and crispy basil on top at Expat. But that's a restaurant, and it's quite a popular restaurant, and it's always full and dirt cheap as well. And but there is a lot of street food around. You've got the Saturday, you've got Sunday markets, you've got the night bazaar. This place is spoiled for choice when it comes to street food or Western style restaurants. And even in Chiang Mai, you have the it's coffee central, I swear. You have a coffee shop on every corner as well. And I'm a coffee addict, so I like my coffee. And there's a lot of coffee growers in the area as well. So you can. One time I was up in the mountains, just driving around, and I come across just this lady that was growing her own coffee. And so I just bought organic coffee beans directly from the source. That was quite good. That was tasty as. And so you are spoiled for choice, really, when it comes to food. And I do a bit of food vlogging even on this channel, as well as when I'm jumping around, I might do some hotel reviews. And I'm just trying to go off the beaten track sometimes and show you guys stuff the tourists don't always see. I do go walking in town a bit, and yes, there is places to film around town, and I try to show you what you can see up here. But overall, it is a good lifestyle, Chiang Mai. And the only problem with it is, in some regards, is that if you want to travel around Thailand, it is a bit of a hike to other sections. So yes, I can go north. I can go to Chiang Rai. I can go to Mae Hong Son. I can go north of Chiang Mai to the Golden Triangle and hang out there, and I've done that before. And I've been up there a few times. I've crossed across to Laos. Actually, there's a story about, and I'm jumping around a little bit, but there's a story about going to Laos. I crossed across to Laos because I wanted to see their big casino there. I think it cost me about 50 US for the visa to cross across with an Australian passport. But what I didn't realize about that area of Laos is that it's actually run by freaking crime gangs. And from what I understand, there's a lot of buildings there where they do a lot of the scams, those telephone scams. I've seen some documentaries on that area there. So be careful if you're going up to the Golden Triangle, north of Thailand there, past Chiang Rai, and you're thinking of crossing across to Laos. Because from what I understand, there's some dodgy stuff going on there, like human trafficking, like money laundering and all sorts of weird, wonderful stuff going on there. That's all crime related. And the Thai police know about it. They just can't touch it because it's across the border. And so that area, it looks fancy when you see the big casino there, when you're looking at it from across the river. But some people say avoid it, because when you turn up there, all I saw was a bunch of sports cars and Chinese people driving around and Chinese signs up everywhere. So it was, at the time, I felt it was a bit eerie and dead, and it just felt weird. Like the only people you're seeing around is all these cashed up Chinese, and it's alleged that the Chinese mafia run that particular casino there. But I don't know that stuff for sure. There's just a little bit of stuff that I've heard from some documentaries online. as well. So careful if you're going to cross there. But coming back to Chiang Mai itself as a lifestyle, it is pretty good, and your food's fine. You can pretty much get anything you want. If you wanted to live like a Westerner, you can do that here. If you want to live like a local, you can do that here. It's if I'm going to go shopping, for example, in Old Town, there's a big market, huge market for buying all fresh food. It's out towards that Chinatown sort of area. And big fresh food market, dirt cheap for vegetables. You can get fresh fish there, fresh seafood. You can get meat there, curry powders, all sorts of stuff there. Fruit, super cheap. I'm out at Mahia Way, Maehia, and out at Mahia, there's little markets there, and I do a bit of shopping there for fresh produce too. But if I'm wanting a bit of Western stuff, or I'm wanting some really good quality meat or something, I might go to Macro, for example. Makro. It's like in Australia we have these things called Coles and Woolworths supermarkets. It's like them on steroids. They're literally huge, massive shopping centres, and they're really cool actually. Macro, you can go in there and pretty much get whatever you want. Macros, if you want to buy something in bulk, you can buy it in bulk too. Like I've got addicted to those little coffee cans, those little Nescafe ones. And so I might go in there and buy like a big set of them, or if I want to buy a case of beer or something, or whiskey, I can buy that in there as well. But I can buy all my meat, all my cleaning products, coffee, tea, whatever I want in there, I can get it. And you can get a lot of the Western, you can get some Western brand stuff in Macro as well. For shopping, you've got Macro, you've got Rimping, which are sort of smaller supermarkets, but they have a lot of those specialized Western products as well. Like Rimping would be Rimping, I think, Rimping. And there's one out at May here, but you got one under Maya as well, one of the big shopping malls in Chiang Mai here. And so, yeah, that's pretty good, the Rimping stores if you're after Western stuff. But you do have your Lotus and your Big C's if you're just after just general groceries. And in both those, Lotus and Big C, you've got your groceries plus your clothes. So you can get both things there. But if you're a bit of a bigger build guy like me, you're not going to get clothes that are going to fit you in places like Lotus or Big C, because they don't have those sizes. Even their XL seems a bit small. But if you're going to do shopping for bigger clothes, then you've got places like American Eagle in Maya as well. But yeah, overall, I think for now, that's just my first little test of this sort of live streaming here. But yeah, if you've got any ideas for topics you might want me to live stream on or talk about, then yeah, send me leave a message even in this live stream video when I actually end it. And do subscribe. I don't mind chatting to people. I've met a few people in person as well on the channel, and I like sitting around having a good yarn, having a beer, or having some food. I've done that with several people that have just met me, whether it's through TikTok, through Instagram, through YouTube. And me and Anne are happy to do that. We like meeting people. We like chatting to people. The YouTube community out there is great. I've met a few YouTubers as well. So, yeah, give it a go. Yeah, just leave messages and I'll respond to them when I can. I'm going to work really hard to build this channel, and could be talking about all sorts of weird, wonderful topics, even if people ask for a particular topic as well. I'll see what I can do to try and dig up information on that. But anyway, I've got things to do today, and so I'll leave you to it. I would chat a little bit longer, but it doesn't seem to be. This is my very first live chat. I'm going to see if I can lock in a regular time where I log in, and who knows about the length of the chats. Maybe I'll do 9 or 10 a.m. every Saturday morning Thai time. But that's what I'm looking at doing, trying to put a regular live stream in so that you guys know when I'm going to log in. So maybe I'll try again. Depending on when we travel as well. I've just got to decide whether I'm going to do Saturdays or Sundays for a regular live stream. But I will leave some messages on that, and then I'll just lock in a regular time where I'll be doing live streams. But anyway, have a good one. and chat soon. And if you like these sort of videos, hit like or please subscribe. I'm fairly easygoing. I love having a good yarn. I love having a good chat. So, yes, happy to answer any questions. Have a good one. Bye.